Hello there, and welcome back to another video. It's been a week, not that much, but today we're going to be talking about the top 10 roller coasters that I've ever been on. So at number 10 we have Stealth, and this is at Thorpe Park. Goes quite fast, I'd say, 80 miles an hour, not too bad, and a decent height of 205 feet. Well, you may think it's quite a short ride, but to be honest, I just like the feeling of launching down the track and getting that acceleration. Well, I feel like the third or best or fourth in the world, whatever you call that. But yeah, I just really love the feeling of zooming down the launch track and hanging up the top hat and getting a bit of airtime, especially on the top and at the last hill. And if you go to one of my other videos about how I nearly died on a roller coaster, definitely not clickbait, but yeah, you can see I was talking about how someone's phone even fell off. There was so much airtime on the last brake run, but it sits firmly at number 10. Don't see it moving for any time soon, and let's go on to number 9. So at number 9 we have Kumba at Busch Gardens Tampa, and this is a B&M sit down coaster. Good amount of inversions, 7, I'm pretty sure it's 7 or something like that, decent amount, and very intense, which is what we like to see. It's also probably, I'd say, a very iconic coaster, probably one of the most iconic in the world, especially with those interlocking corkscrews, as you can see right there, and the loop behind. I also quite like the design of it, and well, as I said, the interlocking corkscrews, very cool design, and how the loop even goes round the lift hill, which is also pretty impressive. As I said, good amount of forces, sits firmly at number 9. So at number 8 we have another ride from Busch Gardens Tampa, and this is the B&M Dive Shikra. This is I'd say it's a pretty strong one. It's like 200 feet tall, good decent speed, and obviously of course gives you that free falling sensation. And that sensation that you can see there is all down to the hard over the shoulder restraints, which actually allows you to get a bit of airtime, unlike the shitty vests. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. But there's also the splashdown, as you can see there, always a bit of fun. And sometimes you even see some idiots try to swim in the pool of water. But nevertheless, sits firmly at number 8. Now a bit closer to home, we come to number 7, and it's the Smiler. This has got the most inversions in the world at 14, and I would say has a pretty amazing layout, especially to cram in that amount of track in such a small space. Is pretty impressive, to be honest. It's got, I'd say, good forces. It can be a bit rough, but sit at the front, you'll be good. But besides from the roughness, it also has 2 amazing ejector airtime hills, which is surprisingly the best part about the ride when you compare it to its focal point of inversions, which is pretty ironic. It also has, I guess, good forces. It's got I don't know, 5G or whatever, I don't know. I mean, it could have called it coronavirus if you ask me. Whoa, but yeah, good forces, and yeah, theming is a bit weird, but if you do want to know a bit more about the theming, check out the video of the Smiler teasers. It's about a 10-minute video, pretty epic. But besides from that, I'd say it's a good ride. It had its ups and downs, but yeah, sits firmly at number 7. Next up we have the original Hyper Magnum XL 200. This opened up in 1989 and has recently had its 30th birthday. It's quite well for the original Hyper, I'd say. First off the ride, the drop's decent. Could be a bit more at an angle, but I guess it's the original hype. You can't cut you some slack. But the first half of the ride is decent, to be honest. But the second half is where it really kicks in. You go through a little turnaround, and then you go through these janky arrow hills, but provide a good amount of airtime, to be honest. Go through some tunnels, you get to meet this guy. Besides that guy, you get to also see some flashing lights and space themed or whatever lights, like a bit like Space Mountain, I guess, which were installed for its in 2019 for the 30th year anniversary. But yeah, the airtime in those dark tunnels with that man is very good, to be honest. I mean, if you marathon it, you'd probably get a couple bruises on your legs from mainly because of the lap bar, but you know, it is good airtime, and would recommend a ride. Sits firmly at number 6, and we move on. Now at number 5 we have Mako. This is located in SeaWorld Orlando, and it's another hyper. This time more recently, opening in 2016. It's got a drop of a decent height, good speed, I'd say, and a better drop than Magnum. This is probably for the reason that it's steeper, but however, also it has decent airtime. It's not ejector like Magnum, but it's floater. However, it's good floater, especially with that 5-second floater hill after the first turnaround. Well, it's not turnaround, but like turn. That is, pretty good. It's probably why it is better than Magnum, as I would prefer ejector, but it's the good quality of floater which really does it for me. It also has that turnaround there, as you can see in the background, which is known as a hammerhead, which fits in with a theme of sharks. It's also kind of like located by like some water or whatever, like it's quite a big body of water, but kind of like, I guess, fits in with the theme. But it doesn't even look like SeaWorld, it looks like a swamp, but you know, it's Florida, I guess. What do you think? But apart from that, don't really have anything else to say. Good ride, good forces, and sits firmly at number 5. Next up, at number 4, we have a very good ride, Montu at Busch Gardens Tampa. Again, recurring theme from quite a lot of their rides being there, but you know, they got good rides, what can I say? This is probably, I'd say, the best invert I've been on. And I've been on Nemesis, which is quite overrated, but you know, it's just, the intensity is amazing, the inversions very whippy, and also I guess quite graceful in some areas, like that sidewinder you can see there. Has also got, I guess, a good variety of inversions. You got, as I said, the sidewinder, you got a loop, and even a batwing, which is, you know, something you don't see every day. A batwing I get on inverts, but intensity very good. Keeps on giving all the way up to the last point where you go through that final corkscrew, and I'd say pretty amazing ride. Highly rated with other people, and highly rated with me, and sits firmly at number 4. And at number 3 we have probably, I'd say, the most iconic roller coaster in the world. Everywhere you can search up roller coasters, it's on YouTube definitely. So this is Millennium Force, the original Giga. Absolutely stunning ride. Fun fact, if you go up the lift hill, when you're on the lift hill, you can even see Canada from the top of the lift hill because it's so tall. Personally, people may call it Millennium Forceless because they think it's a bit forceless, I guess. But if you're on the back, you know, those airtime zones, you might get a bit of air, but so it's not that bad overall. However, I guess if you enjoy the banks, turns, and high speed, it's your ride. But yeah, really solid ride. Absolutely loved it when I was on it, and would recommend to all. Next up we have Maverick, and this is another ride at Cedar Point. Not as big as Millennium Falls, as you might know. It's only 100 feet, however, and it does pack a punch for the 100 feet you only have. It's got that vertical drop straight off the lift hill, and you're already going quite fast with those RSM watches, so throws you right out of the seat when you go there. And the transitions, like the whippiness, it's just stunning. Also, second launch is amazing. It catches up by surprise. And fun fact as well, after the turnaround of the second launch, after the trims, they were meant to have a heartline roll, but they had to remove it because it was just so intense. But yeah, this is a ride. Just keeps on giving. Would recommend totally. I mean, I just recommend a trip to Cedar Point in general, but definitely probably one of the best rides in the park. However, the people may say the restraints are a bit bad, but it didn't really bother me when I rode it. So yeah, it's solidly at number 2. Next up, we have, of course, Steel Vengeance. This is probably at the top of everybody's number 1 list if they've definitely rode the ride. I mean, I've already made a review of Steel Vengeance, so you can check that out, but I'm just going to go briefly why. I mean, it's got the most airtime in the world, so what else can you ask for? And it's all ejector, especially that outer bank hill right there. It's just amazing, especially the second half as well. You don't even know what's up and what's down. It's just so crazy, and it all the way right till the brake run at the end of the ride, it just keeps on giving all the airtime hills, I think. So it's just a stunning ride, obviously, and I'd probably agree. I'll probably say it's the best in the world. I can definitely see why it gets the 2-hour queues. Even on a quiet day, you probably get an hour queue, to be honest. And I can definitely see why. I mean, you know, however, there is only one downside, I guess, is that if you can't carry anything like large above. Like if you got a phone, like a small phone, that'll be good. But the metal detectors they have in the ride, as they did have some like a thing with loose articles or something like that, so to install metal detectors. Apart from that, it's just a great ride. The restraints decent as well. I mean, as long as you're not ridiculously tall, you'll be good. The shin guards, you don't notice them, and as long as you just keep like push up a bit against the restraint, and then you can relax, and then it will be, you know, great ride. Probably would say the back is obviously the best, most airtime. And yeah, that concludes the review. I hope you've enjoyed it. And this, you may think, oh, what about all these other rides around the world? And this has only just been the ones that I've been on. So you may, so that's probably why you'll be finding out how like stealth and that is on the list. So, however, I would like to go to places in the future, but due to the lockdown, doesn't seem most likely this year. But yeah, hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.
If the arch never